Okay. So from today onwards, we will be starting CSS. Okay. I hope everyone got what uh, I have explained about HTML. So from here onwards, we will be starting CSS. Okay. I hope screen is visible to everyone. So let's see what is CSS. Okay. What is the full form of CSS? Is CSS Cascading Styling Sheets. Okay. CSS stands for Cascading Styling Sheets. Okay, so it is a programming language used to style HTML elements. It controls the layout, design, and appearance of the web page. So what it is saying, it is a programming language which is used for styling HTML elements. So whatever the HTML we have done in previous classes, to style all those elements, we have to use this CSS. Okay, no? So next to Jeshi, after it controls the layout, design, and appearance of the web page. What it is saying, it's saying like the layout of the web page and design and appearance, all these things are controlled by this CSS only. So, for example, if you look at like a font, a color, and size, oh, we can manipulate all these things using CSS. And also, for example, if you want to add a background color or if you want to add an image in background, so we can do all these things using uh, CSS. After that, along with that, arranging elements for example elements are having properties like margins paddings and borders, all these things we can add different kinds of properties to HTML elements like margin padding and borders. Okay, all these margin padding and borders are CSS properties. Okay. After that, creating animations and transitions. So as you guys see, whenever we are scrolling, some animation is going to happen, or there will be a smooth scrolling will be there. So all these things we will be doing. So after that, and also not only that, CSS is also a powerful tool that can be used to create beautiful and functional web pages. So by using CSS, we can create a beautiful and functional web pages. Okay, it is one of the powerful tool in web development. So this is all about CSS. Hope you guys understood what is the full form of CSS, and after that, what is CSS used for, and what and all things we can do using CSS. Yeah, these things are very basic, important things you need to understand. Okay, so that you can clear technical. There will be a technical round now after what is it? The first round, something there will be asking some questions, not that one. After the second round, in second round, you guys are going to do technical things. At that time, these questions will be coming. So you have to be careful at that time. Yeah, after that, we will understand some basics. Okay, so some basics about CSS. So how can we style CSS elements? Okay, CSS elements. There are three methods. You know, to style an HTML element, there are three methods. So one is internal styling, and one is inline styling, and other one is external styling. So let us see what is internal styling. So as goes definition, CSS rules are defined within head section of an HTML document. So as you guys can see in the image, here image, you can see this head. Okay, so head. After the head, this is this style element. Yeah, actually, this should be inside the HTML, inside the head, or you can also write outside. No problem. There is no problem with that. But most of the times, what we will do, we will write inside head. That is our up to us. So whether we can write like this or we have to write inside the head. But most of the times, you guys have to write inside the head. That is most preferred way. So here, what you have to do is. Uh, we will writing a style tag inside this style tag here, as you guys can see, after the head I have written one style tag, and After that, there is this thing, dot internal CSS color led. Okay, so here I am applying CSS. Okay, inside this style tag, dot internal CSS. As you guys try to remember, I have explained that IDs and classes. So it is the same thing here. It is the same thing. So internal CSS and all those things will be coming here. Okay. So in internal CSS, where we'll be writing all the CSS we will be writing inside head using style tag. Okay. So actually the image I haven't observed it, just where it's a small mistake. Okay. So as you guys can see here, here we have written one class. Class is equal to internal CSS. So this is class name. So what we are doing inside style tag, we are writing dot internal CSS, means we are targeting this thing. Okay, targeting this particular thing, and we are adding color red. Okay, we are adding color red. Yes, sir. So uh, as you guys can see, so here I have written this internal CSS. After that, what I am trying to do is in style CSS. There is this style tag. Now inside that style tag, what I am trying to do is I am targeting same thing using dot. You know, so to target class elements, we to class things, what we will be doing is we are going to use dot. Okay, dot internal CSS. After that, we will be writing these things. Okay, now I will be explaining what is this syntax later on. But right now, you guys need to understand is we are going to write internal styling inside the style tag. Okay, so that style tag should be written inside the head element. Okay, to avoid any performance issues. Okay, so these are the advantages, like easy to manage for small style sets, can target specific elements within the document. Okay, and what are the disadvantages? Not suitable for larger or complex style sheets. Means if the CSS is more, it is not suitable. Okay, okay, clean clutter the HTML code. So this is all about advantages and disadvantages about internal styling. After this, we will be saying second one. Okay, inline styling. What is this inline styling? CSS rules are applied directly to HTML elements using the style attribute. So as you guys can see in the image here, there is this P element. Okay, so there is this P element. What is happening inside this red box? So I have written one style. So whatever the thing we write inside this starting tag, it is called as attribute, as I have explained in initially. So this thing is called attribute. So we are using style attribute to do styling of an element in inline CSS. Okay, this is called inline CSS. Whenever we are using an style attribute and styling that particular element like this, it is called as inline styling. Okay, these are important things. Okay, technical interview point of view and technical exam point of view. These things are very important. You guys need to understand very carefully. Okay, so this is the definition, like CSS rules are applied directly to HTML elements using the style attribute. Okay, after that, let us look at advantages. Quick and easy to apply specific style. When should we go for inline styling? So we should use inline styling only if there is like a some part, uh, like the code is very small. At that time, we have to use inline styling, like we are like styling particular element we can use. If the code is relatively less, the product is less, we can go with inline styling. If the project is somewhat mid-level, like mm, somewhat mid-level, at that time we have to use internal styling. Okay, internal styling. If the project is more very big. At that time, we are going to use external CSS. I will explain in the next slide. Okay, right now we will be understanding what is inline styling. So, disadvantages is main disadvantages is whether it cannot be a it cannot be easy to read and maintain. So, like as we have written style here, if the number of styling elements is more, like color is there, font is there, text is there, we are adding more number of CSS means it's going to become the code becomes multiple lines. At that time, it is not readable, and at the same time, it is not maintainable. So for that purposes, most of the time we don't use inline styling. For small projects we can use. So as you guys can see in Tailwind or using when React with Tailwind or React with Bootstrap, what we guys do, most of us we do inline styling only. Why? Because the styling will be relatively very less. Okay, so that's why we will most of the cases we will be using inline styling only in React with the UI framework, React with Bootstrap or like React with Tailwind. So can so, but in normal HTML, CSS projects, you guys don't go for inline styling. It becomes more complicated. And also, the what is this thing not suitable for global styles or styles that need to apply to multiple elements. So, with the help of classes and IIDs, we can like uh, we can add same styling to multiple elements. Okay, no? So using classes, you can add same, like if I want to add a 10p element, same red color. So if I use inline styling, what is going to happen? I have to write this style color red to each and every element. So to avoid that, what I will be doing, I will be giving a class name, and for that class name, I will be writing this style color is equal to all that. So for maintaining global styles, it becomes complicated. Yeah, so it is also one of the disadvantages of inline style. Next, we will be seeing external style. What is this external style? CSS rules are defined in a separate .css file and linked to HTML file. Document using link tag. So here, what it is happening like, so CSS, I mean external styling is nothing but we will create one CSS file. Okay, like we created .html file named index.html. In the similar way, we will be creating one CSS file like a style.css. So what we will be doing inside that style.css file, we will be writing all the code. Okay, we will be writing all the CSS code, and we are going to call that file in HTML file. Call that CSS file in HTML file using this link tag. Okay, I will be showing this one. No, there is one image. No need to worry. So after that, what are the advantages? Separates content from presentation, making the code more organized, and it is easier to maintain, and also can be used to across multiple HTML pages. So same if I have written one CSS uh, separate file CSS file. So if I want to use same file for any other project, I can use that same styling to other project also. So I can use same CSS file for multiple projects also or multiple HTML pages. Okay, improves it also improves page loading. I will be explaining what is this page loading in the next slide. Yeah. Next, this is the image. So as you guys can see here, index.html is one file. This is called HTML file, and style.css. There is style.css file. So what is happening? So inside this head element, with the help of link, okay, with the help of this link element, so what I am doing is I am importing this style.css. Okay, I am calling this file here style.css file inside my index.html file, so that whatever the CSS I am applying in the style.css, it should be applied on this file. So for example here, as you guys can see, h1 class is equal to title. So I have written some CSS, it should be inside this style.css. So when it is going to applied here, when I write this link, style sheet href is equal to style.css, then only it's going to work. I have created one style.css file and I have all CSS coding, but why it is not working means if you means you forgot to write this line. To simply put it, you forgot to import this CSS file inside your HTML. Okay, so how we are going to style? Okay, we are going to give classes and IDs for our HTML code, and we will targeting those classes and IDs in our style.css, and we will be applying uh, and we will be importing that style.css file inside our HTML file. After that, all that CSS is going to apply to our HTML file. So there is one thing you guys need to understand why we are using uh, why most of the people use external CSS rather than internal or inline. Why? Because whenever our page loads, whenever our page is loading, so it's whenever it's loading, what is going to happen? So the CSS code will be more. It takes some time to execute. At the same time, there will be also JavaScript code. It also takes some more time to execute. So what we'll be having if we write like this, okay, if we write like this link relative, what is going to happen? So first all the CSS, sorry, all the HTML document is going to get loaded. After that, this styling will be applied to that HTML page. So the browser, the what is going to happen is first HTML is going to load. After that, CSS is going to apply. So for that purpose, what we are doing to make user not it is not no. So what we want to do is so we don't want to irritate the user now. So whenever someone is accessing our web page, we don't want to irritate or provide them with a bad experience of our web page. So for that purpose, what we are doing, we are using like external CSS. The external CSS, it's like when the HTML content is loaded, at the same time only uh, it's going to apply all the CSS so that user can see the page. So if it like a blank white page, the user gets confused like it is coming or not coming. He is going to search for another website. So to avoid those things, what we are doing is we are breaking that total CSS code to reduce the load on the browser. Okay, to reduce the load on the browser, we are using separate CSS file. So whenever the HTML content is loaded, after that these external CSS or external JavaScript codes are going to be applied to this thing. So for that purposes, we are using external styling. Okay, for the same thing goes for JavaScript. Yeah, I will explain again at the time of JavaScript status. No need to worry. So this is about uh, external styling. Final conclusion is that how do we write hmm, how do we use external CSS to in an HTML file? We will be importing that style. I mean that file style.css file or any other CSS file with that name. We are going to import it here, and we are going to write CSS with the help of targeting that classes and IDs. So this is all about external styling. Next, we will be seeing how to use CSS in internal, okay, internally and externally. So we will be seeing the syntax first. There will be a selector, okay. There will be selector. There will be selector. After that, there will be flower brackets. Okay. Inside that flower brackets, we will be writing properties and values. Okay, we will be writing properties and values. What are these selectors? Selectors are nothing but classes or IDs. What we will be given. As you guys can see here, we have given tag name. So here we have given tag name. Okay, so it is a selector. Okay, in the next slide I will be showing all the selectors. No need to worry. These are the selectors. Yeah, selectors can be tag names, I mean HTML tag names or classes or IDs, attributes. There will be different kinds of things. So mainly we are going to focus mainly on like tag names, IDs, and classes. These three things we are going to focus more. So first, what is the selector? Selector is nothing but the thing we are targeting. So the targeting element is called selector. So after that, there will be properties. Okay, na? What is this property? So for example, H1 is an heading. Okay, so for that, what we are doing, we are applying font styles. Okay, font styles we are applying. So for example, I want to increase or decrease the size of the H1 element. So what I will be doing, I will be adding a property called font size. Okay, I will be adding a property called font size, and for that I will be giving a specific value like a 32 pixel. Here I have given for H1 element. It's the font size should be the property for this property. The value should be 32 pixel, and then in the similar way, after that I am having another second property, and its name is font weight. Okay, and it has a value of 700. After that, I am having another property line height 1.1. So these are all uh, properties and values inside the flower brackets. Okay, outside of the flower brackets, we are like selectors, like the elements we are targeting with the help of classes, or IDs, or tag names. So those are called as selector. So as you guys can see, here is a overall picture. So there are internal styles. So you guys see here inside head, inside head, what we are writing internal styles. Okay, internal style, inside style, we are writing styling. After that, external. Okay, link relative style sheet href. So this is called link to external style file. So this is called external styles. So internal styling and external styling is same, but what we are doing is inside HTML. I mean, we are writing this internal styling inside our HTML file only. Now. So what we are doing, we are simply doing uh, uh, creating a style tag. Inside that, we are writing all that CSS. Oh, but coming to here, external CSS, we are creating separate file for CSS. Separate file for CSS. So inside that, we are directly targeting the elements, and we will be writing our whatever the code required. So after that, here as you guys can see, inline styles also there. Like a style is equal to like a H1. Inside H1, I am writing a style attribute. For that style attribute, there is font size, font weight, line height, all these things. Okay. So this is how we use internal and external CSS, and you have to remember this syntax. Okay, na? Okay, next. After that, selectors in CSS. So, okay, previously I am explaining that selectors. No? So here we can see the clear definition. So CSS selectors are used to specify which HTML element should be styled. So what is it saying? To style a particular HTML element. So we are using CSS selectors. Okay. After that, they act as a way to identify and target specific elements within a HTML element. So these CSS selectors, what they are unique. I mean, they are unique in their own way. So at the same time, there will be similar selectors also. There will be unique selectors also. Okay, so there will be different things like that. Now, so in that. There are few examples. So, few common types are there. So, what are they? Element selector, class selector, ID selector. So, this element selector is nothing but this element selector targets element based on tag name. So, by using tag name. Like we have different kinds of tags now. P tag, H1 tag, div tag, and also like span tag. There are different kinds of tags, no? So with the help of this tag name, I mean, if I am having paragraph tag means, so I will be using P. Okay, if I am having, I want to style H1, so I will be writing H1. So H1 element, I will be writing H1. If I want to style div, I will be styling uh, div using div. Yeah, so we will be using their HTML tag names and we will be styling them. Yeah, after that, class selector. So as you guys know, we have written number of classes inside our that HTML project now. So how we are going to add styling to them? So by accessing like this, okay, dot my class, and inside the flower brackets, we are going to write all our CSS code. So this is how we are going to use our class selectors. So class selector is nothing but target elements with a specific class attribute. So we have used a class attribute inside that project. So for that classes we have created many things. So we will be styling our project using those classes only. So next coming to this ID selector. Here this ID selector targets a single element with a unique ID attribute. So, for example, if you want to add anything uniquely to particular element, we are going to use ID selector. So, as you guys can see, how to access an ID selector. I mean, if I want to apply styles for an ID, how to access that one. So we simply put hash. Okay, we will first put simply hash. After that, we will be writing that ID name. So if we give, for example, if we written uh, there is a box. Okay, for example, I want to create a box with a certain width and height and with a background color red. So what I am going to do is I am going to write hash. After that, I am going to write box. Okay, after that, inside this flower brackets, I am going to apply all that properties. Okay, properties and values like CSS thing. Okay, this is all about element selector, class selector, and ID selector. With the help of these things only, we are going to style our HTML elements. I hope everyone is getting what I am trying to say. Okay, so don't go for YouTube. It is a lot of there will be a lot of content, and the useful content around would be uh, 40 to 50%. If you want to grasp more knowledge, the useful content in YouTube is mostly 40 to 50%. Rest of them, there is more content. I'm not saying it's waste. There is more content, but right now, you guys don't need all that content. Yeah, so I am also explaining things that are important to you and also for your interviews and technical things and also for doing projects. Okay? That point of view, I have filtered most of the things and explaining all these things. Okay, so let us understand different. Okay, there are different families. Okay? Inside the CSS, there are different families. So I will be showing what are those families. After that, I will explain each of that. So there are like CSS fonts. Okay, CSS font is simply for styling the text. Okay, CSS fonts for styling the text, and CSS box models are making boxes. Okay, for making boxes, we going to use this box model family. So next after that, colors. Okay, CSS colors. These are the different parts of the CSS. Okay, these are the parts of CSS. Okay, CSS colors is one family. Okay, inside this CSS. After that, CSS backgrounds is one family. CSS backgrounds, and CSS flexbox is also one family. Okay, so CSS after CSS flexbox, there is also grid and many more. So I will be explaining till grid. Okay, till grid I will be explaining later on that content. After you guys can sort it out later on. So we'll be doing things after. Uh, so you guys have to remember the main things. Okay, there are fonts. Okay, in CSS there is fonts family, box family, and colors family. After that, backgrounds family, and also flexbox family. After that, grid family. You guys need to remember these things. There is also selectors family, but I haven't taken screenshot of that one. So I'll be explaining that thing later. So what are these CSS fonts? Okay, let us understand what are these CSS fonts. So CSS fonts offers powerful tools for controlling the appearance of text on web pages. So this fonts family, what it is going to do, uh, the whatever the text inside our HTML page, these font family is going to focus mainly on that text only. Okay, they what they are going to do is they are providing various properties to text so that it can become visually attractive. So these are some properties like font families, font sizes, font styles, font weights, and also font variants. Okay, so these are the some properties. Uh, so there is no need for going for definitions. No need for that font families is nothing but like we will be using sans serif, Roman, like Google fonts also there. So these are different. There are different kinds of font families. Uh, I means it's nothing but a style. Okay, style of the font. Different. There will be different types of styles in CSS. I mean fonts, generally. In the similar way, in CSS also there are different kinds of things. So those things are called as font families, and font sizes is nothing but size of the text, size of the text. Font style. Coming to this font style is how you want to represent the text like italic, normal, bold. So for that all purposes, we will using font styles. Okay, next coming to font weights. So we will be using font weights for bolding and also font variants. So this is similar to this font styles. Okay, font variants means there will be different variants in font variants like Sans 600, Sans 500, Sans 700. There will be different kinds of variants. So we'll be discussing later on all these things. Uh, After this, we will be seeing this image. So in this image, you can, as you guys can see, CSS fonts, okay, font family, font size. These are the properties of fonts, okay, letter spacing, the line height. So what is the number? Here we have to give the number. Okay, what is this size? Size means it is nothing but 32 pixel, 10 pixel, 20 pixel, or like that we will be giving. Okay, so we will be giving sizes in pixels, and this is what is this font. This is a string. Okay, this is a string. Like if you want to write here Times New Roman, you will be writing double quotes and Times New Roman. Or if you want to use sans serif, you will be using sans serif. In line height, we will be simply giving 600, 500. I mean, sorry, certain number 10 now, 5, or like that. We will be giving number. After that, font weight also we will be giving number like 500, 700, 300. Okay, after that font style. Okay, font style italic or normal. So these are the different properties and their values here. Okay, their values. This is property and their values. The fonts. The next text decoration. Like if I want to add any text decorations like underline or dashing or striking or different things will be there for a text. So for that purpose, we are using this text decoration and text alignment. Like if I want to uh, align the text at the left side of the web page or right side of the web page or center, or else I want to align the text justify. So these are the different properties for text align. So after that, this coming to this text transform. If we have a text in small letters, it's going to capitalize that uh, text if we use this text transform. So that is the main purpose of this property, okay, na? Text format. So here we can see simple example. Okay, to put it, it is a simple example. Font and like font, italic. Italics is nothing but style. Weight is 400. Okay, 14 pixel is the size. Slash line height. Okay, line height is 1.5 and sans serif family. Okay, so these are the example. This is an example for font. And like these are the properties. Means the bottom things are properties and top things are values. Okay, green color things are values. Black color things are properties. Okay, next this is the example. Okay, as you guys can see, font family. For font family, we are writing Arial sans serif. Okay, next coming to font size 12 pt. Okay, here we can also write pixels also. Like here we have written 14 pixels. Yeah, next letter spacing 0.02 em. So I will be explaining these things like responsiveness. There will be a concept called responsive designing. I will be explaining in later on. So, this is all about fonts. After that, fonts we will be having box model. So what is this box model? So inside as you guys see, inside the HTML, we will be whenever a text is created, it should be inside one box. Okay, it should be created inside a box now. So, like if I add something, there is this paragraph element now. So for that paragraph element, it is also inside the box only, but we cannot see visually. But once we add a property called border, at the time we will be seeing the box of that paragraph tag. I will be showing examples in practical class. So, so this box model is nothing but every element in HTML is inside a box. Okay, that is the concept of this box model. So the box model is having properties like maximum width, minimum width, minimum height, maximum height, like that, and also it also has margin, padding, margin and padding, and also box sizing. Okay, and also this thing visibility, we will be leaving this one. I hope margin is nothing but the space between like this, the space between this is the space. Okay, this is called margin. The padding is called inside this thing. Okay, I will give technical definition like whatever space around a box outside the box, it is called as margin. If we want to add some space inside the box, it is called as padding. Okay, if you want space outside the box, it is called as margin. If you want to add space inside the padding, sorry, inside the box, it is called as padding. Okay, that is the margin and padding. Okay, next after that CSS colors. So generally here, as you guys know, colors means we will different colors we are going to apply for the HTML element. So in that colors, we can apply, you use different kinds of ways to represent a color. Like generally, we use color name. Yeah, generally we use color name. So along with that, there are also we can represent those colors with different ways also. Like here we are using hexadecimal code for representing a color, and here we are using RGBA. Yeah, RGBA, and here we are using HSL. And this is some properties of color. Okay, color inherit, initial, unset, transparent, current color. So these are properties of colors, and these are different ways, so that different ways to give a color to an HTML, like by using name, or by using hexadecimal, or by using RGBA, or using HSL. So there will be this question like in how many ways we can style CSS colors. I mean, we can add say colors to an HTML, and there will be these options like only name of the color, like hexadecimal, there will be two options like this, and there will be another two options which are not correct. So what you guys do, you guys only know about this one, okay, named color. So what you will do, you will tick only this one. You won't be ticking this one. What is going to, it's going to become wrong. So like that, it's going to happen these things. Okay. So you guys have to take care of all these things. How many things will be there? Are these enough? Or I should prepare more? You have to take care of all those things. Yeah, this is all about CSS colors. Next, coming to CSS backgrounds, if you want to add any a background to for background for our web page, okay. If you want to add something like a black color or red color, green color, so what we are going to do is we are going to use background. Okay, we're going to use CSS background. So there are these many properties for backgrounds. So generally we use background, background color, background image, background position, background size, background clip, background repeat, and also background attachment. So mainly what you guys to do is you guys have to use this background also. So mainly we use background and background color. Most of the rare cases we use background images also. So what is this background position? So whenever we use an background image, so we are going to use this background position, like the image should be left side or right side, or the center or bottom. At that time, we are going to use this background position and also background size. So this background size would be like I want to apply width, height. So for that purposes, we are going to use this uh, background sizes and background repeat. So we'll leave this background tip. You guys may get confused. Yeah. So background repeat is nothing but if you add an image to like a background image, you have added background image. Okay, so what is going to happen? By default, it is going to get repeated. If the image is small, it's going to continuously repeat it like 4 or 5 times. It will be showing on the screen. So to avoid that, what we are going to do, we are going to use background repeat. Okay, by using the help of this background repeat, we can control all those things. Okay, so this is one example. Okay, background. Okay, we are adding a background color, or we can add an image. We can set its position like left, top, center, and also the size of the image. I mean size of the image or background, and also we can also put give a property like it should be repeated or not repeated. And also this should be fixed, or we have to floating, like there will be some websites like it will be floating now. So it can also be used like background, using background attachment we can do that. Mm, so this example is a bit complicated. I will be explaining later on. Okay, I won't be explaining this flex box. Why? Because I want to explain with an example, with a practical example, this one. So this flex box is nothing but I will be showing image one second. Okay. So here you guys can see. So it is a Flexbox cheat sheet. So to it becomes somewhat complicated to explain all these things. As you guys can see, there are many properties. Okay, like this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in this, we do only very important things. So right now we won't be doing. In tomorrow's class, I will be explaining this flexbox and gridbox, okay, with a practical example. Okay, for these two things are very important. That's why I am sparing more time to explain these two things. Okay, okay guys, we'll end the session till here.